Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, blogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
the Staight Shootin View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify,
Mixcloud
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
the Staight Shootin View.
Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Staight Shootin LJA and welcome to 2022, the first episode of the Staight Shootin View in 2022. And you know what? I wanted to kick off the year with two things, and that is FIFA greed and AFCON disrespect. Now, the reason why I wanted to delve into these, I'm going to do the FIFA one first, and the reason being is because I'd like to ask the question to FIFA, which is supposed to be a non-profit, how much money do you need? Because I relate this to the proposals of a biennial World Cup. So the World Cup being every 2 years, which to me, in all honesty, is an absolutely, utterly, positively absurd idea. I think it's just absurd. One of the main reasons is the fact that the fixture schedule is already congested enough. Why would you add more to it? We've already got the Nations League, which UEFA Nations League, which is an absolute boondoggle cluster circus in and of itself. Why would you then go ahead and try and make the World Cup every 2 years? Oh, that's right, greed. But it's one of them where it's like, where would you fit in a World Cup every 2 years? And you look at the upheaval that is going to happen this December with the Qatar 2022 World Cup, and that being moved to December, it's going to be one of them ones where it's just going to... Where do you fit it? Seriously, where do you fit a World Cup every 2 years? And the knock-on effect as well. Because not just do you have the World Cup being more frequent, and in my view, devaluing the importance of the World Cup. Remember, it is expanded to 48 teams from 2026 as well, and being held in 3 countries, USA, Canada, and Mexico. So there's already that expansion going on. So you think they're making enough money from it. But then it's on them where the European Championships would have to move to every 2 years as well to accommodate. And it's like, I don't think the powers that be at FIFA have actually realised that, or if they have, they don't care. I'd lean towards more they don't really care. But it's one of them where I just find it to be just selfish, really and truly. Because as I said, it's all about money. And apparently a biennial World Cup, so World Cup being every 2 years, would make like £3 billion extra. And it's like I said at the top of this episode, how much more money does FIFA need? How much more money does the game need? It's like you go to an extent. It's kind of like you're now doing things for the sake of doing things. And I said they're already going to expand it to 48 teams in 4 years' time anyway. So why do you need to go to every 2 years? And you look at players. Like, player burnout is going to be stupid. And I said it's already a cluster. It's already enough of a piled up fixture list. Even for sides who do have a winter's break. It's just absurd. And I said, having the World Cup every 2 years, usually every 4 years, it's something to build, you look forward to. You get Euros in between and Copa America in between, and you get AFCON in between as well. And it's like, there is, to be honest, and I never thought I'd hear myself say this, there's enough football in the calendar already. Like now you're just crowbarring in stuff for the sake of crowbarring it in. And I said with FIFA, it's greed. Because look how much FIFA make off of sponsorships. whether it be alcohol, whether it be whatever. Look at how much they make. And I said the Qatar 2022 World Cup was a boondoggle in and of itself. It's recently been announced that they're going to have some first ever transportable stadium. And it's like, all right, fine, but what is going to happen with that afterwards? You're going to transport it to a storage location. And it's going to get broken down. And it's going to be like the Atlanta Olympic Village from 96. Derelict. So, because there's not the footballing infrastructure in Qatar. There really isn't. So, it's just one of them where it's just like, it beggars belief how you can even consider a biennial World Cup. It's just one of them where it's like, dude, like, just stop being greedy. Gianni Infantino is a yes man for Sepp Blatter, following in Blatter's footsteps with this greed. But speaking of kind of greed loosely, the African Cup of Nations. And you know what? It's one of them ones. I've watched a few AFCONs before, not claiming to be an expert. It's one of them ones. It is what it is. But I said, with the congested fixture calendar, where AFCON falls is obviously a little dicey. Because they were actually going to change it to summer. I think before COVID, it was going to be changed to summer. But now it's back to its winter slot of January, February. And as said with the Qatar 2022 World Cup, that's bad enough, but at least it's not this year. At least it's not on an AFCON year. But it's one of them where it's just like, AFCON has come leaps and bounds since those early tournaments. And especially even since the 90s, it's come leaps and bounds. So it's on them. AFCON deserves respect. It definitely does. And the continent of Africa is often disrespected. And it is really disgraceful that whether it be pundits, whether it be the parasitic media in this country in general, they want to put Copa America on a pedestal up there. But then when it comes to AFCON, oh, no. And it's like, well, no, you have to respect Africa, because look at the players over the decades that Africa has produced. Look at the players. Zinedine Zidane, Patrick Viera, among others. It's one of them was Didier Drogba, Yaya Toure, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Riyad Mahrez. And that's just to name a few. That's literally just to name a handful. And I deliberately named Zidane and Viera because, well, Algeria and Senegal, respectively, are their original countries. You could even go further back and start naming others. I mean, we've seen France have problems when it comes to nationalisation and the ethnicity of the players winning them World Cups. So there's a different topic in and of itself. But the fact is, Africa as a continent is so disrespected by the media here. It's utterly disgraceful. And you know what? I think part of it is definitely to do with where AFCON falls in the calendar. But I think a large part of it as well is, and I agree with Ian Wright and Patrick Viera, that there is a racial issue to this. There is a major racial issue to it. Because at the end of the day, as I said, look at how Africa is basically strip mined for talent. It's like Africa is strip mined for talent every day. When you look at how France, especially, Belgium, cradles, Portugal, Brazil, cradles of it, basically cradles of slavery, if you want to go down that road. Basically cradles of slavery who are still profiting to this day from players taken as youngsters, taken as young as like 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. It's like, oh, you got football talent. Thank you. We will take you and nationalise you. Again, Patrick Vieira, Zinedine Zidane, among others. And it's like Yuri Djorkaeff. Go back to there. He's Moroccan. But they ended up winning World Cups for France. So it's one of them where it's like, I said there are countless other examples of this, and Africa doesn't get the respect it deserves for producing talent. And it's one of them when you have certain guys like Didier Drogba, Weah, among others, they're just seen as outliers. And it's like, no, The continent of Africa is producing, and has for a long time produced, major international talent who have conquered club level. May not have conquered international level, but again, that's a different subject. But the fact of the matter is, the continent deserves more respect than its Cup of Nations tournament being referred to as a small tournament. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, you could see he said that slightly out of frustration because of where it falls. But then there are others who have dismissed AFCON as basically nothing. But if that was to happen to the European Championships or the Copa America, there would be uproar about it. But because it's Africa, it's like, yeah, we can strip mine Africa, it'd be fine. And it's like, no. AFCON deserves more respect. A hell of a lot more. And as I said, look at the talent the continent is producing in general. Put some respect on that name. So it's one of them where it's like, you look at guys like, say Wilfied Zaha, who has clearly seen the attitudes towards AFCON and been like, no, you know what, I'm not playing for England. I'm going to go play for the Ivory Coast. Props to him on that decision, by the way. It's one of them I want to go play for the Ivory Coast. Because it's one of them, because at the end of the day, I want to play in AFCON. I want to play in a prestigious tournament like that. You know what? I think more players of African descent or African heritage should do that. Like Mikel Antonio. I still congratulate Mikel Antonio now for taking the decision to play for Jamaica instead of England. When England, him at 30, 31, is having he's basically in the prime of his career. England finally come calling after overlooking him for years. And it's like, no, I'm going to go play for Jamaica. Sorry, you lose. You're SOL with me. So, as I said, man, I think AFCON deserves a lot more respect. And these pundits, these managers and others who are disrespecting it, you're doing the entire continent of Africa a disservice. And it's a disgrace. An effing disgrace, to quote Didier Drogba. But you know what? I want to know your views. Is AFCON given enough respect? I don't personally think it is. Biennial FIFA World Cup. Good idea? Bad idea? I think it's an awful idea. And it's just FIFA being greedy again. Let me know what you think. I have been Staight Shootin LJA. This has been the Staight Shootin View. Remember, www.pitch-talk.com is our official website. Find out about everything Pitch Talk there. Go to the podcast page where you can catch the RSS feed of our podcast. So you can listen to our podcast directly on our website, www.pitch-talk.com. Other places you can listen to Pitch Talk podcasts are Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Verbal. We are Verbal ambassadors and proud of it. VURBL.com. Search for us there and tweet them at GetVerbal. Tweet them and let them know that we sent you, because we are Verbal ambassadors and proud of it. Anyway, you catch a podcast, we are there. YouTube.com/Pitch Talk is where you can catch our videos including our special feature segments. Pitch Talk at the SAL Senior Cup Final 2021, which was a lot of fun for me and the G-Man. Also, JBK at the Vitality 2021 FA Women's FA Cup Final as well. Catch Jamie's video diary down there at Wembley for that final between Arsenal and Chelsea, ladies' sides. Also at Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we're up to. Facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become fan, become friend, become member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. At Pitch Talk on Instagram and on Reddit. At Pitch Talk on Instagram, you can find vlog previews, pictures, and much, much more. You know what I said? I have been Staight Shootin LJA, and for another episode of the Staight Shootin View, see you next time. Thanks for your time, peeps.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website,
www.pitch-talk.com.